Well, good afternoon again. Thursday, Cornishman Day. I hope everybody's all right, staying safe. It'll be all right. I keep saying that. Now, I know they said here today, well, we're going to start clapping for all our heroes. Yes, they're all heroes in our minds. They're all heroes. But I'd just like to think that surely there's a way that we're giving 14 billion, that's 14 million away to other countries that need it. Some of them need help. But surely we should look after some of these home here. We think these nurses and doctors, they got to pay to go to work to save people's lives. And they're doing a fantastic job. I'm going to clap for them. But surely there should be a bit of more support for them. Even if we let them go half price in the car parks, or let them go in there for free. Why shouldn't they? There's other groups that got, let's say, up London, that are like MPs and all. They get the wages plus expenses. Well, let's give the nurses a bit of expense, or the doctors. Anyhow, we should do a bit more than clapping, and we should never forget them. Never, ever forget them. We will get through this. It's going to be all right. Now, I'm going to have another go. And this one is a story by Hugh Matthews, and it's about Willie and the Pendine Silver Band. Willie badly wanted to join Pendine Silver Band. None of the band wanted poor Willie, but he kept on pestering Jim, the soft-hearted bandmaster, till he took pity on him and found an old cornet for him and told him to go home and practice every day till he could play good enough to join the band. But they all wouldn't let him play in. They couldn't stand their racket. Even the dogs snarled at poor Willie soon as he took the cornet out of the case. So he went up top of the back lane to play, till a pack of hounds chasing up to the gump where nobody could hear him. That was grand for him, till two ladies come out one day to take their dogs across the gump for a walk. They were stopped in their tracks when Willie started to blast away at his cornet. They couldn't see Willie behind some bushes, but they could hear him all right. The dogs began to howl. The woman was frightened to death and fled back to their car for dear life. They went to the police station and told them there was a wild beast prowling up round the gump. So what chance did poor Willie have after that? But he soon followed the band around, and one Whit Monday his luck was in. The band was playing for Treweller Taytrate, and the drummer was took sick. Lee, Will, and the drum, somebody said. He can't play a wrong note on that. Somebody said, I don't know. You don't know, Willie. But the Sunday school and their teachers was lined up with their flags and banners, eager to be off. So Jim put the drum over Willie's shoulders. Alas, the straps was too long and the drum was hanging down round Willie's knees. Somebody found a bit binder twine and tied the drum up to Willie's chest, and he was ready to be off. Right, says Jim, watch me, Willie. Now, 1, 2, 3, go. Off they went. Willie could beat the drum all right, but he got so carried away with was beating faster and faster. By the time they got up Geever, they was galloping, and Jim had to stop the band. William Henry James and Dick Size fell behind and was leaning against the edge to catch their breath. The band's has gone mad, says Dick. They aren't thinking about my gammy leg, said William Henry. Jim took Willie to one side and had a word in his ear. That sobered Willie up, and they started off again. They was doing very well till they got to the square, and Willie seed all the people standing there to watch the parade go past. Willie got carried away again in his excitement. He crossed his arms and throwed them in the air and twirled the drumsticks over his head, just like he'd seen them doing over at Camborne Band Contest. And that when the binder twine broke, the drum fell down to Willie's knees, and tripping up, he flied head first over the drum, feet in the air. His boots caught Jan Oskin right in the back of his nuttock. Jan went flying. His cornet gave a great squeal, and Jan went headlong down on his face and eyes and caught the heels of the three in front of him playing the trombones. They went down too and barged into three in front and skate over the two men carrying the big banner and come floating down over the band. They were sprawled out upon the middle of the road, arms and legs and instruments sticking out from under the banner. They struggled to get up on their feet one by one, looking dazed or mazed upon their battered instruments. Jam Size's trombone was looking north and south at the same time. Watchers was laughing fit to bust. Women was screeching and children was dancing with glee. Suddenly, all went quiet, 'cause they could hear some awful sounds coming from the middle of the road. Everybody looked frightened, 'cause Jan was lying upon his back in the middle of the road with a cornet sticking out of his mouth. Every time he breathed, the cornet gave a great squeal. "He's gone a funny colour," says Dick, "like when Uncle Harry swallowed his pipe in that time." Then they all talked once. "Give him a drop of brandy," says one. "Oh, can he give him brandy with that cornet stuck down his chalk?" says another. "Yes, you can. Entin' down the cornet," says Dick. By now Jan's cheeks was purple. Willie was standing there white as a sheet and shaking like a leaf. "I believe he's going," says Willie. "We must show some respect." He took off his hat and held him to his chest. But Joe Eddy put his foot upon Jan's chest and was pumping him like one gone mazed. "He's coming round," he hollered, and all of a sudden the cornet flied out like a cork and took Jan's teeth with him. Somebody picked him up and shoved him back in his mouth. Jan opened his eyes and looked up upon Willie and opened his mouth to speak, but was just a croak. "He's praying," says Dick. "He's giving thanks for his deliverance. We must pray wedding. Dear Lord," he began, but somebody said, "He isn't praying, he's cussing. You don't say stupid bugger in your prayers, do he?" Sure enough, he was cussing blue murder. And he, a Sunday school teacher and all, suddenly jumped up to his feet and started beating Willie about his head and ears with his drumstick. "I'll beat your stupid head in." Willie clutched his head and tore off like a long dog. Jan cussing of him, still brandishing the drumstick and swearing like a tooth drawer. They dodged round the band two or three times, then it went off down the road. Everybody sticked up looking upon them as if they was mesmerised. Willie, being younger, was the best runner, and he soon disappeared for a week or two. Poor Jan clumped home, just killed, and tucked into his bed to recover. And that was the end of Willie's dream of a career in the Pendine Silver Band. There's a little short little poem, I think. This one's called The Isis. The night was dark, the storm was high. Thick cloud covered the moonless sky. A ship in danger, no time to lose, no time to falter or pick and choose. Those 10 men raced to man their boat. The lifeboat Isis was soon afloat. Over the bar, and she was clear. Her crew fought on and hid their fear. Through the storm she struggled on. Too soon the sight of land was gone. At last a gleam of light was seen. Yes, there she lay, a brigantine. Her mast now gone, she met her fate. Could it be they were too late? Yes, there was life. Make fast a line. Thanks be to God, they were in time. That crew now safe, she pulled for home. So small amidst that raging foam. Those waiting, staring through the spray, some stood silent, some knelt to pray. "She's off Gadrevi," a watcher cried, and fear-filled faces now changed to pride. Out there in the darkness, just before light, those men gave thanks for their lives that night. For 21 years the Isis served, her place in history so well deserved. Edwin Trebascus, first coxswain then, brave leader of those gallant men. With a crew of 10, he led the way. His acts of courage recalled today. In their life's work, they did not fail. Those men back there were men of hail. The Isis served from 1866 to 1887 in Hale.